I want to introduce someone that I just met. Well, actually I just met her today formally, but came into contact with 2 weeks ago. And she is the author of 2 very important resources that I think you need, actually I know you need to hear about. This woman traveled 10 or 11 hours from Birmingham, Alabama to be here to share that information with us. So what I'm going to do is give her a few minutes of my time to talk about those very important resources. At this time, I am going to bring up and introduce Sister Laketa. Please listen up and understand that these resources are available. So she's not just talking, it's almost like market education. It's putting it out there, okay? Sister Laketa.
I'm a nutrition consultant, a natural health practitioner, an herbalist, and also an author of the book Taking Every Bite Seriously. I was the first owner of a raw vegan cafe in the city of Detroit called the Raw Cafe. You know, a lot of times we say that there's not access to available food or healthy food, and so sometimes you can provide that access and then people still won't come. Health is a choice. And we closed the cafe in October after almost 2 years, okay? So, but what brought me to this day and what brought me on this journey also was a diagnosis. I'm not gonna go into a lot of detail, but I had an early stage diagnosis. I was really quickly sitting at my, in my office, and I had just eaten a turkey sandwich with, it was like a turkey Reuben with potato chips and some other stuff, and I had some pains in my breast immediately after that. So without going into a whole lot of detail, went to the doctor, blah, 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 and food is your best medicine, is where I just want to take it. Today I have none of those issues in my body because I completely changed my diet. Now, really quickly, the title of my book is Taking Every Bite Seriously. A lot of times we think that everything that we put in our mouth is food. But if what you eat does not have the ability to grow for growth, development, and energy, it's not food. If it has chemicals in it that are harmful for the body, then it cannot be food. So what Taking Every Bite Seriously does is it actually is your roadmap to transition your life from poor health to bad health, because the difference between a person with bad health and a person with good health is initially the quality of their information. And so what you're going to find in Taking Every Bite Seriously is a lot of information about the chemicals that are found in your personal care products. You're going to find information about the power of food. Never have you found any information like this where you can just go and flip the pages and find out what you need for diabetes, find out what you need for breast cancer, find out what you need for gout, find out what you need for any condition in the body, and the research to back it up. And so what we want to do really quickly today is that we certainly want to, let me say this, if I were to ask anybody in this room, usually when I give seminars, I'm very interactive, and I know I can't do that tonight because we don't have a whole lot of time, but if I were to ask you, what should I eat for gout, what would you say? Just shout it out, please. Cherries, very good, that's one, okay? And here's the thing with the one, we cannot fully transition our life on one food, because at the end of the day we're going to have to add something to those cherries, okay? And so usually what happens is that we add the wrong stuff, and then gout becomes intermittent, it becomes reoccurring, okay? So what you want to do is have enough food to actually transition your life, and that's what we're going to show you today. A lot of times we try to self-medicate, and we are taking different types of medications for high blood pressure and all of our other conditions, and we're using herbs. And then we don't know that there can be some what we call contraindications. There can be some adverse impacts. For example, if you choose to do chemotherapy, you can't do St. John's wort because it'll wash that chemotherapy out of your body. Now, you know, that's a good thing when you want to follow a natural path to get rid of those chemicals. But a lot of times you can take if you're taking a high blood pressure medication and you take herbs or foods that that are for high blood pressure, what happens? You can sink that blood pressure even lower. You can sink the sugar levels even lower. Okay, and have some really, really major problems in the body. If you wanted to reverse cancer, you really need to look towards what we call cruciferous vegetables that are rich in a phytochemical called sulforaphane. There's some studies that were done at Johns Hopkins University on sulforaphane. You can find a whole lot more of the content in broccoli sprouts. Okay? If we're talking about, so that's so very important that we have that, arginine. So if you also had a cancer situation. Now there are foods that have what a power called apoptosis. And that means that it causes your body to naturally have those cancer cells die. It causes cancer cell self-destruction. Really, really quickly, we talked about cooking food. A lot of times when you cook carbohydrates and grains like rice and potatoes, they produce a chemical naturally called acrylamide. And acrylamide is highly toxic. So you're going to have a chart within this program where you can look at the lotions that you have. And look at the back of that lotion and say, oh my God, it has propylene glycol. Oh my God, it has sodium lauryl sulfate. Oh my God, it has 1,4-dioxane. So that you can get rid of it. There's no such, I hear people say, I'm just gonna use the last bit of this, so I won't have to waste it, or I'm gonna give it away. The same results that it will have with you, with giving you cancer, you don't give somebody else that. There was a study done on triple-negative breast cancer. They found that wild blueberries actually reverse it. But do you see them giving you wild blueberries? No, absolutely not. And a lot of times we talked about sprouts. So we've got the benefits of alfalfa sprouts, great source of B12. They always ask you, where you get your protein? Dark green leafy vegetables, the same place the cows get theirs. Okay? Dark green leafy vegetables. Animal protein, I forget what the percentage is, in a study that was done by Dr. T. Colin Campbell, shows that eating too much meat will give you cancer. Because usually African Americans and Hispanic folks will not go to the doctor. They usually find us on the street, we done fell out. And they had to call an ambulance at work because we won't go to the doctor, because we won't go to an herbalist or a naturopath. Go to somebody. Get started. So we have a chart of phytochemicals. Remember I mentioned sulforaphane, I mentioned, there's quercetin that's great against prostate cancer. But then the question is, what foods have quercetin in it? So apples and many, many, many others, and also quercetin, again, has that ability for apoptosis. Okay, and then there's a chart of basic human anatomy, because a lot of people don't know what's going on in their bodies. They figure that if they're dealing with diabetes, they only have to deal with the pancreas, and that's not so. Okay, so again, I just want to thank you, Jehudi, for the opportunity to be here. The books are available. The books are $30. It's the best $30 investment you'll make, because you'll never ask anybody again what you should be eating. Also, this is 300 pages, over 300 pages of information, and within the e-book, again, it's 3,010 pages. And all you have to do is very, very quickly get the foods that you need, find out what's in your cosmetics, what's in your personal care products, and what's in your cleaning products. That'll kill you dead just washing out the tub.
Are you ready to promote your vision and reach your target audience? IndustryBuzzWith3Zs.com is the platform for your vision to be heard. For more information on how to advertise or become a special guest on our radio show, go to IndustryBuzzWith3Zs.com. Click on IB rates for more information. We're looking forward to expanding your vision. IndustryBuzzWith3Zs.com.